Okay, so let us start with the Prayer Mangalacharan to Sri Radha Radha Govinda. Okay. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavscha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vittam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakana Vittamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dino Bandho Jagat Pate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamamya Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatura Abhyascha Kripa Sindhavevacha Pavnebhyo Vaishnavo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadesha Tarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we are in the 11th chapter where it started off with when the chapter 10 Krishna has said, with a single fragment of myself I pervade and support the entire universe. So he says that he is pervading everything. So what is, when he was talking about his opulences. Then Krishna now wishes to see that all pervasive form of the Lord. So although Krishna is driving Arjuna's chariot, he pervades and supports the entire universe, right? So now Arjuna wishes to see this pervading form. Arjuna requests Krishna to reveal this universal form. So in this chapter, we have 55 verses and we had covered about 35 in the last thing. So can anyone remember why Arjuna's request wanted to see the Vishwarupa form and why did Krishna agree to it? Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, can you mention? Vikram Prabhuji.
Mataji, this form is only for those persons who are very, very, who are devotees of Supreme Personality. And through this form, he wanted to show to the world that he is the ultimate God.
Yeah. And also, whatever he's talking is a pervasiveness. No, he's there everywhere. He's present in every planet, in everything. And whatever he talked about, the Mahatattva, Brahma, Devatas, and all that. So he wanted to show everything in that form. That is the cosmic form. So that is one thing. Whatever he talked about and whatever thing, he also displayed it, right? And another thing is, it's like a criteria. Today in the Kali Yuga, nobody can claim that there's God. That is by meditation, he has become a God or he has got this power. So Arjuna, for us, like ordinary people, we should know that, if you say it's a universal form, he's a God, then he must be able to be present in everything, that pervasiveness. But the way we see the Arjuna's mood, the way he requested, he doesn't demand from Krishna. He says, if I'm eligible, can I show me that form where I can see you are present in everything, right? So then, who all saw that universal form? Radhika Mataji or anybody can throw light. Who all saw that? We saw that, the last.
Arjuna, and
yeah.
Hanuman Mataji. Hanuman also is there on the Kapi Puja.
But Sanjay also saw, because we saw, he's grabbing it to the Yes, he is describing it to Dhritarashtra, right? He is also, so, and why, how he is able to see? He's been able to see because of Vyasadeva. No? He had given him that drishti. So whole thing what's happening in Kshetra, he's able to see. Plus, he was also able to see the universal form, the form which Krishna was showing to Arjuna. Plus, there were devatas also there, no? They also had that divine vision. So they were also able to see the universal form from their planets. They were there in their planets, and they were from their planets, they could see Brahma, Shiva, everybody could see from their respective places, from wherever they were. They could also see this universal form, right? And this universal form is not eternal. It's only linked to the material because it's a cosmic manifestation, which is Arjuna is displaying. Okay. So that's how he's showing it. Then one more thing is, and Arjuna felt so many things. Can you all describe? Because he could see it was not like a dream. He could see the brilliance of the sun, the whole sky, the whole thing was lit by the brilliance of Krishna. And then you could see whatever expressions, first he was very wonderstruck, right? And then he saw how even the devatas also were wondered. They were also stunned. You could see their expression. You could see them, you could hear them reciting Vedic hymns. You could hear that, and you could see their fear. And also you could see the past and the present, future also, because the Krishna says, whatever you desire, you'll also see. So even the future, how Dronacharya, then Bhishma Dev, Karna, Jagan, Jaidev, they all are entering into the mouth of the Krishna. So that also he sees that form, where all the soldiers in the future were all going to get killed. They all are entering into the mouth of Krishna. So that also he sees in that form, right? And they're all getting scared, the expressions that he could see, Arjuna. So, it was like a live TV show, it was there, and we could see everything which was going on. It was conscious. The minute he felt you want to see something, immediately that image will come. That Krishna will show that, because Krishna is there in his heart and he understands his wish and desire, right? So, when he sees that that form of destruction, where everybody is entering into his mouth and all are getting killed, then it actually gets scared. He says, I can't behold this scene. It's too terrible. And he says, what are you? What is the thing? So that's where we stop. So he says, who are you? And what is your mission? The coming like that, So Krishna says, I'm Kalosmi. Answers the thing. He says, I'm time the Kalos. So he is the one who creates, he manifests, maintains, and he annihilates. So he says, this is my Kala Rupa. This is my Kala Rupa, where I'll be finally ending up the whole thing. So for Kurukshetra in the battlefield, I'm ending up everything. So I'm the Kala Rupa. I'm also the destruction. And to deliver everything, destroy everything. All the people, and in this particular instant, all will be destroyed except for the Pandavas. Even the soldiers on Arjuna's side, Pandava's side, the soldiers on the Kaurava side, the horses, the elephants, all over there, they'll all be destroyed. So he says everybody. And indicates that even if Krishna didn't want to fight, and they will die anyway. So that is what the Krishna is saying. Whether you fight or not, finally it has been decided, and it's my plan, and they're already going to meet their death. So everyone else are devoured like a meal by the thing. So he was like, it was entering into his mouth, into the fire. It was like a very fierceful sight, for Arjuna to behold. So he says, everyone are devoured. I've already destroyed all your enemies, become my instrument and fight and win the glory. So actually, as Krishna wants the glory to come to Arjuna, so he says, you become my instrument by Nimitra Matra. So he is and he has motivation is to fulfill the Lord's desire, and it is the Lord's plan. So we think it's all happening because of a karma and all that, but many things, all that is happening here is all because of the Lord's plan. Only thing we may not be understanding it, but only when as time goes and we start realizing or reflecting, we realize it's all I think. There's nothing which you had planned. So there's but whether it go along with that plan or you think remorse and say start worrying over it or cursing yourself or thing, it's how you accept it, how you respond to that. That's all it matters. So he's telling to Arjuna, you become an instrument. He's telling Arjuna how to respond. So the whole, this is the sign of interest to recognize that the whole is moving under the plan of the Lord. Some foolish people think there's no plan behind the creation, all are accident. It just came like that. Big Bang theory, there's no controller, and they think they can't think there could be somebody so powerful, so inconceivable to be behind this creation. So it's all that foolish ideas. So Arjuna, you be my instrument. You carry out whatever I'm telling you to do. So this is how Krishna is responding. He says, I am the Kalosmi. He is a Kala Rupa. So after showing the thing, initially about his Garbhodaksha Vishnu, everything he shows from where the Brahma is sitting in the lotus, then he shows the Shivas, he shows the Ashwinis, all the Devas, all the planets. And finally, it comes to the future of the thing. So now you see how Arjuna is now trembling and now he realizes the whole thing is done by him, right? So now we are going to see Arjuna's prayers. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality, Arjuna trembled, fearfully offered obeisance with folded hands and began falteringly to pray. What does he say? The world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attracted to you. Although the perfect beings offer your respectful homage, the demons are afraid, and they run here and there. So he says, it is true. You are just so powerful, so things. So the devotees are joyful upon hearing your name, and they get attracted, and they offer your respect, because you could see all the devatas and all were reciting hymns and they were praying. And that is true. And this is rightly done. Oh, great. Oh, stands above even Brahma, because you could see Brahma sitting there and Garbhodaksha from the lotus. You're the original master. So, because you're the original and thing, why should they not pay their homage up to you? And one more thing, Krishna says, no one has seen this universal form, right? This form of the Vishwarupa which he showed, Arjuna was the first person to whom he showed, okay? So, because of Arjuna, even Sanjaya, even other devatas, Brahma, everybody could see this form. It's a form with the innocence. He says no one has seen it before, and he has not shown it. And you're the original master. Why should they not pay their homage up to you? O refuge of the universe, you're the invisible. You're the cause of all cause. It's a supreme cause. From him, everything has come. Okay, it's nothing like, so even from them, Brahma came, then Shiva, then all the devatas, then all these planets, and all the secondary, all the okay, Brahma was given the responsibility of to create these planets, but the blueprint and the knowledge and the thing was given by the Lord. Okay, and this is not the only universe. There's so many other universes in this Brahmanda, the cosmic. So he says, you are the supreme cause and transcendental to this material manifestation. So you are the original personality, the Godhead. You are the only sanctuary of this manifestation. You know everything. Because he is from him everything comes. And you are the knowable. And you are above the material limits. So this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. So he says, I can now realize everything, whatever you're saying. And I can also see here in front of me. So the whole thing is pervaded by you. You are air, you are the supreme. I mean, it comes automatically the minute they see this, and you might think it's repeating, but these are the emotions which Arjuna is going through, and he's praying. This is how his prayers are. You are air, you are the supreme controller, you are fire, you are water, you are the moon, you are Brahma, the first living creature, great grandfather. Therefore, offer my respectful obeisance unto you thousands times, again and again. Okay. And then it says, obeisance to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. Oh, unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything. So you can see how he is praying to the Lord. Okay, you are the ultimate rest of everything and all knowledge. You are the essence of everything, from front, behind, and from all sides. And then he realizes, when as he's praying, that earlier, for him he was like a contemporary. So he has been addressed saying, "Oh Krishna, oh yeah, the voice of my friend," without knowing your glories. He had been very casual with this, as like a friend he has been treating him. Okay. So then he thinks, I might have done something wrong. No, forgive me, whatever I may have done in madness and love. I have dishonored you many times by relaxing, or by lying on the same bed, or eating together, sometimes alone, sometimes in front of many friends. So if I've done any offenses, please excuse me, forgive me. So now he realizes that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I might have done some mistake, I don't know, unknowingly. So he's asking his Father. You are the Father of this cosmic manifestation. Moving, non-moving, you're his worshipable chief, supreme master. No one is greater than you, nor anyone can be one with you. So how can there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power? So I'm saying you're the supreme prime. You're the supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living entity. Thus I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend of the impudence, husband of the family, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done. So now he's saying, asking, because now he's a true devotee. See, you can see that. After seeing this universal form, which I've never seen before, I'm gladdened. But at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or Lord of Lords, or Abode of the universe. So now he says, I don't want anymore to see this form. Please show me the Narayana form, because they all know is a Narayana form as the four-handed form, right? Then, so request to withdraw the fearsome form and reveal the form as personality of Godhead. So request to see the four-handed form. Four-handed form is that Narayana form. No? In one hand, you'll have the wheel, wheel, and then you'll have Shankha, then conch shell, then a lotus flower, then a gada, isn't it? So he wants to see that four-handed form, which indicates that all forms are one, Rishikesh. And different, actually, depending on the names he has, different are the different configurations of the four hands. In which hand he has the lotus and which hand he has got the gada, depending on all that, names are different. So now, indicates Arjuna is afraid and he is joyful also, because he is gladdened by knowing his friend's opulence as Supreme Personality Godhead and his ability to show the universe world. But he is afraid he might have committed offenses, right? It's a temporary form, but Vaikuntha form is transcendental, 400 and the eternal. See, this Vishwarupa, which he shows, that will be there only if there's a cosmic manifestation, okay? But that is manifestation will be there and it gets annihilated. Whereas the spiritual world, the Vaikuntha, the Goloka, is eternal. So there, that form which it has, the Narayana form, is eternal. It's transcendental. It's not thing. But this form will get annihilated when the It's not, it's only a temporary, because it shows only the material, cosmic material world, right? So Krishna now can assume any form as he is asked to show is Narayana, right? So Kiritinam Gadinam Chakrastam. That is, he wants to turn the Kirita, the Gada, and then the Chakra, then Gada. Ichchami tvam drashtum haham tataiva tainaiva rupena chaturbhujena sahasra baho bhava vishvam. O universal form, O thousand-armed form, I wish to see you in your four-handed form with helmeted head, with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see that form. Okay. So now Krishna will withdraw his universal form, and then he'll show his 400 form, and finally he shows his 200 form, and then he will tell how this can be seen only if the eyes which are pure. Okay. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, happily I have shown you by my internal potency the supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you has even seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring influence. So he says, no, even the Narayana form or the 200 form, no one has seen before. Okay. So he says, you will be the first thing. Boast of courage, no one has ever seen this universe, neither by studying the Vedas or performing sacrifices, nor by charities can this be seen. Only by devotional service, only you have seen this. It's not that easy to see this form by doing any meditation or austerity or pursuits, even studying Vedas and all that you cannot see, only by bhakti. Okay, so it's very nice things to see. Okay, we see the purport. Purport is very nice. Hare Krishna. Anyone can volunteer? Radhika Mataji or Jyoti Mataji? Hare Krishna. All around.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
The divine vision in this connection should be clearly understood. Who can have divine vision? Divine means godly. Unless one attains the status of divinity as a demigod, he cannot have divine vision. And what is a demigod? It is stated in the Vedic scriptures that those who are devotees of Lord Vishnu are demigods. Vishnu Bhakta Smrito Daiva. Those who are atheistic, who do not believe in Vishnu, or who recognize only the impersonal part of Krishna as the supreme cannot have the divine vision. It is not possible to decry Krishna and at the same time have the divine vision. One cannot have the divine vision without becoming divine. In other words, those who have divine vision can also see like Arjuna. The Bhagavad Gita gives the description of the universal form, although this description was unknown to everyone before Arjuna. Now one can have some idea of the Vishwarupa after this incident. Those who are actually divine can see the universal form of the Lord. But one cannot be divine without being a pure devotee of Krishna. The devotees, however, who are actually in the divine nature and who have divine vision are not very much interested in seeing the universal form of the Lord. As described in the previous verse, Arjuna desired to see the four-handed form of the Lord Krishna as Vishnu, and he was actually afraid of the universal form. In this verse, there are some significant words just like Veda Yajna Dhyayana, which refers to studying Vedic literature and the subject matter of sacrifice or regulation. Veda refers to all kinds of Vedic literature, such as the four Vedas, Rig Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda, Yajur Veda, and 18 Puranas, the Upanishads, and Vedanta Sutra. One can study these at home or anywhere else. Similarly, there are sutras Kalpa Sutras, Mimamsa Sutras for studying the method of sacrifice. Dane refers to charity which is offered to suitable party, such as those who are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas, similarly, pious activities refer to the Agnihotra and the prescribed duties of the different castes. And the voluntarily acceptance of some bodily pains is called tapasya. So one can perform all these, can accept bodily penances, give charity, study the Vedas, etc. But unless he is a devotee like Arjuna, it is not possible to see the universal form. Those who are impersonalists are also imagining that they are seeing the universal form of the Lord. But from Bhagavad Gita, we understand that the impersonalists are not devotees. Therefore, they are unable to see the universal form of the Lord.
So what impersonalists see is only the Brahma Jyoti, that's the effulgence. But they can't see anything else. So it's only the Jyoti they will see. So there are many persons who create incarnations. They falsely claim an ordinary human to be an incarnation. But this is all foolishness. So we should follow the principles of Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, there's no possibility of attaining perfect spiritual knowledge. So it clearly shows here, by doing punya like charity, then Vedas or tapas and all that, you cannot get the benediction to see his form, universal form or the Narayana form. So he says only by devotion. So we should follow the principles of Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, there's no possibility of attaining perfect spiritual knowledge. Although Bhagavad Gita is considered as a preliminary study, but still it is a perfect, that it enables one to distinguish what is what. So we are clear in our mind what is what, right? What we should do if you want to go back to the Goloka. So the followers of a pseudo incarnation may say that they have also seen the transcendent incarnation of God, the universal form, but that is unacceptable because it is clearly stated here that unless one becomes a devotee of Krishna, one cannot see the universal form of God. So first of all, you have to become a pure devotee of Krishna. Then he can claim that he can show the universal form of what he has seen. A devotee of Krishna cannot accept false incarnations or follower of false incarnations. Okay. So this is very clear here, how the very detailedly Prabhupada has written that unless you are a devotee, only by devotion service you can see the Lord. Okay. And this is the four-handed form where I said there's a wheel chakra, Sudarshan chakra, then you have the conch shell, then Gada and the lotus flower. And actually depending on how the position of these four items, the names are different. Okay, so you have different names for the Lord. Is given in Bhagavatam. So you have been Matya Vyata Macha Vimuda Bhavo Dishtva Rupam Koram Idan Mamedam Vyapeta Bihi Prita Manaha Punastvam Tadeva Me Rupam Idam Prapasi. So because you have seen this, you have been perturbed and bewildered by this horrible feature of mind, let it be finished, be free again from all this. Now you can see the form which you like. So now even this form which is showing is being seen by Sanjaya also. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, personality of Godhead, Krishna was speaking thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-handed form, and at last he showed him his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. So this is the thing. He showed the four-handed form that's in the Vaikunthas, and this is the two-handed form where he is in the Goloka. So he showed together. So from this, it shows that from him only all the other forms have come. So the original form is Krishna, two-handed form. He's a person. It's not a Jyoti or anything, but all the other things emanate from the Lord. Okay. When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, "Oh Janardana, seeing this human-like form so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind and am restored to my original nature." Okay. The Supreme Personality said, my dear Arjuna, this form of mind you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Okay? Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form which is devotee. So it's very difficult. It's not, even if Brahma wants to see, he can only meditate and through, and many a time he gets the information or the instruction only through his heart, but he cannot see the form of the Lord. Okay? He has to do many tapas. Says, or all the time trying to seek an opportunity to see this, which is so dear. Okay. The form you're seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by studying serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It's not by these means that one can see me as I am. So he clearly says it's not that easy to see him as he is. But Tva ananya sakya aham evam vido achana natum dashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. So only by undivided devotional service, ananya bhakti, can I be understood as I am standing before you and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way you can enter into the mysteries of my thing. So Krishna says it can be understood only the process of undivided devotional service. He explicitly explains that in this verse, so the unauthorized commenters who try to understand Bhagavad Gita by speculative process, they are obviously simply wasting their time. No one can understand Krishna, how he came in from parents in a 400 form, changed himself in 200 form. These things are very difficult to understand by the study of Vedas or philosophical subjects. So we cannot do any analysis, like, scientific thing, no? How the process, because this is all transcendental, right? Krishna can be in any way. He can. Therefore, it is clearly stated that no one can see him or enter into understanding of these matters. How do we do it? Those who are experienced students of Vedic literature can learn about him from in so many ways. There are so many rules and regulations. But if one alone wants to understand Krishna, he must follow the regulative principles described in the authority lecture. One can perform penance in accordance with this. To undergo serious penances, one may observe fasting on Janmashtami, appeared on 2 days of Ekadashi. You can also do charity, plain. But devotion to spread the Krishna policies, everything you can do. But Lord Chaitanya was appreciated by Rupa Goswami as the most magnificent charity because love of Krishna is very difficult to achieve. Was distributed serially by. So if one gives some amount of money to persons involved in Krishna consciousness, but charity given to spread Krishna consciousness is the greatest charity in the world. So here it very clearly says only by devotional service to the Lord, and even if you give charity, if you give to the people who spread this consciousness, is the greatest charity. One worships as prescribed in the temple. There's always some statue, usually of Krishna or Vishnu. That is a chance to progress by offering worship, respect to personality of Godhead. So for beginners in devotional service to the Lord, temple worship is essential. See, this is what is given in the Sveshvatara Upanishad. See, this is the reason why Prabhupada, when he started this movement, he established temples wherever he went. Because he wanted the people, if they have to do some devotional service, they need to have a place and you need to, their thing to focus on, meditate on. So the temple worship is essential for the beginners. So, and it is said in the Vedic literature also, it's not like idol worship. It's you are inviting to the Lord to be in that in the deities and then you worship. So that is the beginning. Otherwise, you can't just imagine something and try to do the thing. So it is given in literature, and this is the reason why Prabhupada established, I think in 10 years' time, he established 108 temples everywhere so that people, his devotees, can do the follow the process of Krishna consciousness. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tata gaurau tasyate katita he artaha prakashante mahatmana. One who has unflinching devotion for the Supreme Lord is directed by the spiritual master, in whom a similar unflinching faith can see the Supreme Personality of God by revelation. So, you will be able to understand. You cannot understand by mental speculation. For one who does not take personal training under the guidance of a spiritual master, it is impossible to even begin to understand Krishna. So, no other process can be used and it can be successful. So, it's very clearly saying here that Krishna, I think, very undivided thing. Okay. 200 form, 400 form as described as Sudurshan. The things is very difficult to see. They are completely different from the temporal universal form. So, which is shown to Arjuna. So, this is what we need to see the difference. 400 form of Narayana, 200 form of Krishna are eternal, they are all the time, and transcendental. Whereas the universal form shown to Arjuna is temporal. Okay. So this is something we need to keep in mind and suggest that there was no necessity. They suggest that amongst the devotees, there was no necessity of showing it. The form of executed by Krishna at the request of Arjuna, so that in the future, when one represents himself as incarnation of God, people can ask to see his universal. So this is like a criteria. Okay, should not we get fooled in this Kali Yuga. Okay. So when Krishna changes from universal form to 400 form, then to his natural form, indicates that 400 forms and other forms mentioned in Vedic literature are all coming from original 200 Krishna. He is the origin of all emanations. So whatever he was telling in the other chapters, is surely here he is able to display it and tell it to Arjuna. And also we also can understand it. Okay. Because clearly state that even most identical 400 form Krishna, who is lying on the cosmic ocean and from whose breathing so many innumerable are passing out, is also an expansion of Supreme Lord. Okay. So there are in the literatures we confirm to it, where Brahma Samhita and so many things else. And here even in this Gopala Tapni Upanishads. Okay. So Brahma Samhita. So from all there you can see that whatever is being told in Bhagavad Gita, there are references, evidences in the other literatures also. You all can read that. So, actually, what is finally Prabhupada writes, this form, universal form, which is not attractive for pure devotees because they are in love with the Lord in different transcendental relationships. So, they actually like transcendent love in its original form of Krishna. For them, that is what is more attractive and they will think. Okay. So this is how Krishna says within Bhaktya Vatya Ananya. Only by unflinching devotion you can see me, not by anything else. And finally, he concludes, my Arjuna, one who is engaged in my pure devotional service, free from contaminations of previous activities and from mental speculation, who is friendly to every living entity, certainly comes to me. Mat karma krin, mat paramo, mat bhakta sangha varjita, nirvairi sarva bhuteshu, samam eti parama. So by doing everything for the Lord and the thing, you will do the devotional service, then only you can come to me. You'll be free from contaminations of previous activities. Okay. Essence of the thing is to engage in doing my work. That's what he tells Arjuna. You engage in my work. This is all I think you dovetail to my plan. I am the supreme goal. And engage in my devotional service, Mad Bhakta. Free from contaminations of fruit, means think everything you do it for me means you're free from contamination of fruitive acts and mental speculation, and friendly to all living beings because you know that I am in all the living entities. So this is the characteristics of the Ananya Bhakti. So Only most purified devotional service, free from jnana and karma, executed without envy, can bring one to understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He says now, by devotional service, even chapter 10, we saw the Chatusloki, that I will give you the understanding to come back to me. So the devotees were all the time thinking of him and doing, worshipping him. He gives them the understanding to go back, the dipena. So, and he gives them and he removes their ignorance. So this is what he is reconfirming, and he's telling them that these forms which are shown to you, it is only people, they try, is never shown to anyone, no, it's very difficult to behold. Only pure bhakti they can see. So because of Arjuna, because Arjuna was a pure devotee and I think, and he showed, and also it became a criteria for us so that we should not get misled or thing when somebody claims to be God. Okay. So this is how this chapter concludes. So Arjuna's request started with his showing this new form and how he think, and even Sanjaya saw and so many else saw. And when it came to Kala Rupa, showing the ultimate what is going to happen, the end of Kurukshetra battle, then Alosmi, so gets Arjuna got bewildered, and then finally prays to him, saying, "Who are you?" And he says, "I'm Alosmi." Then he wants to see the 400 form and the 200 form. And then finally Krishna says, everything you doubted to my plan, just by bhakti, you can come back to me. You will be able to understand, do everything for me.